La, 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 la. Here I am on YouTube. I don't even know. La, 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 la. Here I am on YouTube. I don't even know. All right, so I'm on YouTube and this is really weird. I have streamed from Zoom before, but it is way more complicated than I thought it would be. So thank you guys for being patient with me. So here I am. I know that Kelly Tag was on another stream and I'm trying to figure this out. So sorry. I am texting, so maybe I get some activity over here. I've done StreamYard, and yes, StreamYard is way easier than doing Zoom. Supposedly, Zoom is supposed to be easy, and there's a few steps that you have to follow in order to do the Zoom, but yeah. But I wanted to do Zoom because today I want to talk about how to how I can make summer tutoring exciting, especially math, right? Kids are so anxious. Like at the end of my school year, my students are ready to just like take their book and throw it in the trash. Isn't that horrible? I am not happy about that. I tell them they can't throw it in my trash can. I'm going to turn on some lights here. So I tell them, don't throw it in my trash can. I don't want to see you throw it away. I understand if you don't want to, do all the problems that we didn't do for summer, but it is what it is. The other thing I really like about StreamYard is that you can see the comments right next to it. And I can't see the comments right now. I suppose I could fix my computer so that I can. But I thank you for coming, and I know that there are other people that are going to come to the video later. And I appreciate everyone who would come. And I'm going to put my, I think I can go to the video so that I can see the comments, but it might be a little bit of a problem because I don't want to get reverberation for sound. So I can kind of put it on mute, I guess. I'm going to put my, there we go. So I just want to see the comments on my computer. There I see Kelly. Kelly got her son got his wisdom teeth out. Yeah, I've had a few of my kids do that. And the thing about it is, I was going to tell you she on Kelly's channel, she had a little bit of a issue with his pill because he doesn't swallow pills. And I totally get that because I had a roommate that was going to go into nursing and she she didn't know how to swallow pills. I thought it was the weirdest thing. I was like, you've got to learn, like you're going to be giving people pills. And she's like, why do I need to learn? But my thought was you can either take the pill and crush it up, put it into orange juice or something like that, or you can put it in applesauce, that kind of thing. I know that the doctors have ways to do it so that I know there's a lot of people that have that problem, and I don't really blame them. I'm kind of surprised that none of my kids really complained about it. And we got liquid. Okay, that's good. So there are people that, just can't do it. And I don't, it is what it is. Kind of sometimes it's a reflex and they just can't bring themselves to do it. And after that experience with the peanut M&M, Kelly, if you didn't go to her channel, she gave an update of her goals for the summer, and her son had to have his wisdom teeth out, and he wasn't used to taking pills, swallowing pills. And Kelly almost choked on a peanut M&M. And it brought me back when I was 5. Somebody gave me a quarter, and I actually put the quarter in my mouth so I wouldn't lose it. And then I accidentally swallowed it and it stuck right here. And I had to go to the doctors and they tried to get it out with me awake, but that didn't work. So they had to put me to sleep and I survived. So it was quite an ordeal. I can't even imagine being the parent of a child choking on a quarter, but my kids have been through other things, so I guess you do what you got to do. But I'm so glad that nothing worse happened to you, Kelly, because that sounded really terrible. So today we're going to talk about math tutoring, summer math tutoring. As you can see, I have a beautiful background. I can take my students to any place I want. I could go to a tropical island. I can go to a city. Yeah, and I can, dream and imagine all while we're doing a math class. So what I'm doing with my business, Can Do Math Tutoring, is I'm looking for students that either last year they want to brush up on maybe some concepts that they didn't quite catch last year, and they want to be ready for next year, or any level, any kind of scenario you can think of. I'm ready for it. And how am I going to be better than maybe the tutor next door? Well, I'm old. I tell my students I'm 100 years old. I've been through everything. I have 13 kids. I know all the different types of students. I know students that, honestly, I can tell if the students really can't get it. I can tell. I can review things. I stick to the simple math details. I don't necessarily delve into, complicated things, or I feel like the simpler you keep the concepts, then the more likely the students are going to remember them. So I do have some books. I use the Abeka curriculum. You can't really see it right here. This is pre-algebra. My student is getting ready for algebra. I have 8th grade, 7th grade. That's basically what I teach, 7th through 10th. I've taught all grades, 1st through 8th. I've taught on Outschool. I've done math games, things like that. So what I do is I kind of get to know the student, talk to them. So yeah, Kelly says I'm old. Yeah, Kelly, I think you're a little younger than me, but you're getting old too, right? But that's an advantage. That's a total advantage. That means we know more and we know what's important, what isn't. We're not like trying to push something that the students really won't need for the future. We kind of have a real handle on the concepts, and we have experience teaching all the concepts. So we know how to bring it to the student for understanding. So I think all of those are really good advantages. So what I do with tutoring is I'll ask the student what they like, try to get a feel for that so that maybe during the lessons I can relate some of the things to things that they enjoy. If they have a pet, I'll ask them to show me their pet and talk a little bit about their family, things that they like. That's the advantage of one-on-one tutoring. And it might cost a little bit of money, but you get so much more done in an hour than you would in a regular classroom, because we can go through so many different things. And I don't just like do a math page like at school. A lot of times I will teach a concept, have the kids do an entire page. I don't really do that for tutoring because I only have the students for a little bit of time and we are virtual. I can't really see the paper very well. I've tried showing the paper up. I've asked the students, take a picture, send it to me. Some of that doesn't really work that well. So something that I really found that was really great was I wanted to show, if you're one of my teacher friends, I think this is a great idea. If you're one of the parents that looks at, what do you do that is worth paying for? This is what I do. She's laughing at my comment of being old. Okay, so when I'm on Zoom, this is the thing. I couldn't really do this on StreamYard, but when I'm on Zoom, I can share my screen. I can either go to a whiteboard on Zoom. I can go to, let's see where the whiteboard is. Okay, so the whiteboard is not on share my screen. The whiteboard is on a different spot. The whiteboard is over to the right, and I can go to a new whiteboard. Okay, and this is what I do in classes as well. I can write on this whiteboard, and I have a MacBook, so I can use my trackpad or my mouse, and I can write out a problem like this. Now, some of my students that I've done virtually can write on the whiteboard as well, and some of them can't. I haven't quite figured that out, who gets to use it, who doesn't. Use the whiteboard on Zoom and have them do it there. Yeah. So, like I said, some of the students don't have the whiteboard. I guess maybe they can go to Zoom, and I don't know. I haven't quite figured all that out, but I think I'm doing pretty good doing what I'm doing. Like I said, when I teach regular school, I can be in front of the class and I can do this whiteboard thing, and I have a TV. So I can mirror what's on my computer or my iPad, and it goes up on the TV. So the kids in the classroom can see it, and then the kids at home can see it. The other thing that's really fun is I can, um, well, I'm going to tell you in a minute. So I can do this on the whiteboard, which is really cool. There's a lot of features. You can erase, you can change colors. Like if you want to point something out, you can do colors, you can circle things, tell kids, how to do things. This is math, of course. And I wish I had, this was, I kind of went to my iPad for this because it's a little slow to use my trackpad here, but this is what I do. And then you can save these. The thing I do like about this is we can scroll up like this. We don't have to completely erase it, and we can come back to it like this. And there's a lot of things you can do. You can make shapes, like that. There's so many things to do. I haven't quite figured it all out yet. But this is really fun. You can type, with text, you can type. So that's really fun. There's lots of things you can do. Sticky notes. I do not use any of this stuff because it's too much for me. It would take too much time, but I'm just kind of playing right now. There are ways that you can get to whiteboards that are very interesting as well. But so I'm going to go off of this whiteboard, and I'm going to show you another way that I share my screen, and that will be with my iPad. And I have my iPad hooked up to my computer by a cord, and I can go to my whiteboard this way. And I really like this because I actually use a stylus. And I'm just going to make my screen a little smaller like this. It's smaller on mine so I can see your comments. I have a stylus like this. And so I can take my whiteboard in my hand like this, and I can write on it. So I can do the same thing. Now you can use an Apple Pencil, but I haven't really been successful with that. So I can write on the board and we can do the work. And the student wasn't able to write on this with me or anything like that, but they could write on their paper, talk to me, tell me what they're doing, and we can, do it that way. And then we check our work. 3 + 4 × 4 = 19. So you can see how awesome this is. Now, like I said, what I do in school is I can write on my iPad like this. It goes on the screen that I'm sharing. And I can also pass my iPad around to kids in the class. And it goes up on the TV screen. Now, I don't have a Promethean board, which our students have at our public schools, but I'm at a private school, so we don't have that. So I don't really know how that works, but we have a smart TV, and I can just screen this onto the smart TV. The other thing I can do is anything that goes on this iPad, I can show. So I can go to Canva and I can actually play a game. Now, this was a game. What I did with this game was I had made a game where, can't remember how I did everything. I found a circle, and what I would do is I would just add okay, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Add elements. So I had, oh, good. Okay, I did it without knowing. Okay, so I have these circles, and what I did was I covered them, all of these different fish, and you can just make new ones. And the other thing I did was I put numbers on top of all of these different circles. Now, I am watching a girl, she's called the EdTech Wizard, and she actually went through Nancy Taylor's course with me. And so I've known her for a while. She's doing a great job on YouTube, and she has a club where you can join her club, and they share games that they can do on, like, for out school and stuff. And so a lot of the games are with more than one person, but I was like, what can I do with only one person to play a game? So I came up with this idea where I cover the whole picture. And then I put this on Canva, so I can do that, make another one. And then I had numbers on top of these. So I made this ahead of time. I came to elements, I looked for numbers, and like for the number 1, I just get the number 1, put it over here, and put it in front of a circle. And then I had numbers on all of the circles. So then I would say, you know, pick a number, and my student could pick a number. And the other thing that was really cool about this was I can add a page and come down here on Canva still on my iPad. And there's a section where it says draw, and you get some tools, and I can draw, so I can do another problem. So 3 plus 4x equals 19. So this is the problem that we did before. X equals, what was X? 3? No, 4. X was equal to 4. And so once I'm done, I'm like, oh, great job, you know, and then I can come back here and I can tell the student to pick a number, and then we can talk about the sea creatures. So if the person picks 1, we take that dot off, and we have a cute little fish. So that's a way that I found that I could do a game with one person. Now, my most recent student she loves marine animals. She has like swum with the sharks, she's telling me today. She swam with the shark, she swam with the dolphins. She loves the marine animals, so that's why I picked that. But if your student loves, say, soccer, you could do something to do with soccer. And Canva, you can do anything. You can make up a game with any type of background. And that's what can make math fun. And I have a list of terms that I've been going over with my student. So I will review. So every like 10 minutes, like this game took me maybe 20 minutes of just review questions. And we were able to do some, I kind of treated this like a whiteboard, and we did some different things. We talked about what types of numbers these are. These are called natural numbers, whole numbers. So I was able to ask her questions, and when she was successful, we kept going back to the game. The other thing I could do is just take this page, get rid of that, and I could actually just trash that page, or I just realized I can go to the bottom there and just click on that page. That's even easier. And this is what it looks like with nothing on it. And then I added all the fish. I added a treasure chest. I only had one treasure chest. I added a swimmer. So you can even like highlight it when you're on the iPad like that. So that's a lot of fun, and you can bring it back. So I think this is the start of some really fun games. And anything I put on my iPad will show up on Zoom. That's why I wanted to do Zoom. So like, say I want to go to my photos, I guess I could just go down like this look for photos. And this is how I made my video about, oops, that's my library meeting recently. We went on a trip, and this was the restaurant that we went into. This was called Polly's Pancakes. Excellent place. If you come to New Hampshire, you got to go to it. That was a church up the street. Here's a beautiful scenery of the mountain range. And this is in Polly's. This is the mountain range in New Hampshire. So you can show pictures. You could even use this as the background of one of your games if you want to. And it's just really great. Like I said, I can use this in my classroom with the TV, which works out really nice because I can face the students while I'm typing or doing anything on my iPad. I can face the students. I can do things. The only thing is I'm practicing like writing neatly. So writing neatly is kind of hard for me. So I need to practice that and just being more neat because I kind of write fast. And so use the whiteboard. Yeah. So this is all on Zoom. So that's why I like Zoom, because I have the options of using my device, using the whiteboard. And the thing about Zoom right now is that I cannot use my Manicam. So this background right here is on Zoom. So Zoom does have a lot of new features. Zoom has, I like these emojis, but I don't think I have them like where I can go like that and get them. I only have them if I can press them. So those are fun too. You can use those as rewards during the class. There's also, yeah. So if you go to your camera, whoops. If you go to your camera, you can go to avatars. So there's lots of things like that that we used to have with virtual teaching. I'm trying to see, show avatar, choose avatar. So it's saying that I chose that one. I did go through them the other day because I thought I would scare my student. So there are a few avatars that you can use on Zoom. There's different backgrounds that you can do. There's filters that you can use that are kind of like Manicam, but it's not quite Manicam. I love Manicam. So I still haven't figured out. So if you're watching this video and you know how to get Manicam onto Zoom, please let me know, because I don't really like not being able to use it. So I would like to use my camera. I don't want to do the avatar anymore. So I'm trying to get off my avatar. There we go. So I'm in a new spot. You can also add your own backgrounds to Zoom, so that makes it fun too. And you could, I could have a picture of New Hampshire behind me. But it does make it harder to see everything that you're doing if you have a virtual background. So those are some things that we can do for virtual to make it interesting, to make the student kind of forget they're watching TV. It kind of makes them more interactive. The other advantage of being a live person on Zoom, okay, first of all, you don't have to drive somewhere. You can be there, instantly. And then when you're done, you're done. Your student can wear their pajamas. It doesn't even matter. Sometimes my student doesn't even feel like opening the camera. And as long as the student is talking to me, I know who my student is at this point. The thing I like about working for myself is I can talk to the parent, I can talk to the student, and we can have a relationship. It's not like I'm working for a company and I have to do what this company says. And if we reschedule, I lose points and I lose credibility and my name is mud. I don't like any of that. I like being able to be in control of my yeses and my nos for parents. So I'm sort of in the beginning stages. I haven't really had anybody sign a contract with me or anything yet. So far, what I'm doing is working for me. I am looking for more students, but I'm going to I'm looking at building my business, but I'm building it slowly and I'm starting out face-to-face, one-on-one, personalizing everything. I can get to know your student. I mentioned that before. I like to make it fun. Sometimes I'll choose to maybe read something about a famous author. The girl that I'm tutoring, she also wanted a little bit of help with English, and we talked about one of the famous authors from New Hampshire, which was really fun. And we can I can review concepts that I like, say I go over something with the student. I noticed that my student was a little weak on fractions. So we're going to do more with fractions, but she was really good with integers, positive and negative numbers. She sounded like she was really good with that. So I can kind of focus in on the concepts that I know that the student's going to need help with. And I also like being able to be the teacher because I can repeat everything. I can like ask questions at the beginning of the class, ask the same question in the middle of class, and at the end of class, I can review those questions again. And my goal is to get the students to treat math like it's kind of second nature. It's something that is part of them. They've talked about it enough that it's familiar. Okay, instead of going into the class and be like, oh man, sometimes kids aren't really zoning in on the math class and they miss certain things, they don't realize it, and then they wonder why, why is this not working for me? Well, you missed this, you have a hole right here, we need to fill that in. And so I think that's what summer tutoring can do. And it's only for an hour. Like, I know it's hard to maybe tell a student that you have to do math today, but you know what? The benefit is going to be when they start in the fall and they feel confident. They feel like, hey, I've got this. And once they feel that way, that's going to build. That's going to keep building on itself. And I just really, if you know anybody who needs a tutoring situation, please have them reach out to me because I would really love to see more kids more successful in math. I know that certain kids love it and they gravitate to it, and I don't mind helping them as well because a lot of kids nowadays are doing dual enrollment. Like they're getting to be 11th grade and they're saying, how about I just take a college class? How about by the end of high school, some kids are getting done 2 years of college classes. That saves time, money, gives a lot of opportunity to the student. And I know that some kids are like that. They're going to be self-motivated. They're going to be excelling, but sometimes they need help too. So I'm here for them. I'm here for kids that need help in any grade. My goal is to kind of work with kids first through eighth and maybe help them also with algebra. If I can find students that maybe need an algebra teacher during the school year, I would be glad to do that. I can almost do algebra like, pretty easily. Like it just comes easily to me and I can answer questions quickly. They won't have to look stuff up. I can even, I've had kids in my school, they reach out, I don't understand this one. I can go on my phone and make a little video of a problem, send it to them, and they're like, oh, I get it now. And we're all set. If you wait to the next day, that's still an option to ask in class because other kids might have the same question. But anything that your student can do to reach out to the teacher, have a relationship with the teacher, and build on their skills, build their confidence, then it's going to only benefit them for now and in the future in every way. And hopefully they make a friend because I feel like I really enjoy talking to the students, and virtual teaching really seems to, I don't know, kind of makes me happy. So it might make the students happier than you think. So let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're a teacher, I hope that some of these tips would help you in your virtual teaching or even in your classroom teaching. And if you have any questions. Now, I did not figure out how to get onto YouTube by scheduling it. I'm going to try again. But I have a video if you would like me to send it to you that I'm working with. And there's 3 keys that you have to plug into Zoom from YouTube. Like you set it up on YouTube. Then you plug in these links, and I'm just not quite sure. So I plug in the links, then you have to go to Zoom. And when you plug into Zoom, when you're, well, you set your meeting up, and then when you're ready to start your meeting, you press start the meeting. And then in the lower right corner, there's three little buttons, and you press on that. And then the last one says use streaming key or streaming software. And that's what you want to press. You want to press use the streaming software. And then it's all going to start going into motion. Then you have to go to YouTube and press go live. And there's like a 60-second lag. So when you go to YouTube, you should be able to go to the studio, and where it looks like you're going to go into the live, there's like a twirly thing. And then after 60 seconds, your face should be in that little box. When your face is in that little box, then you press go live on YouTube. And I couldn't find that button when I was trying it for this video. So I'm going to go back and try it again, because it's just a little thing that I'm missing, and I'm not sure. I did get it right yesterday. I tried it and it worked. So I'm not exactly sure why it didn't work today, but so sorry to inconvenience everyone, but anyway, so thank you for watching this video. Let me know what you think, and please make a comment below. And I really appreciate all those who are coming back to watch my video and give me support on this channel. And I'm working on trying to put videos together to help people to understand that virtual teaching is a really great thing. Virtual learning is a great thing, and one-on-one help for your students for math classes is a really great thing too. All right, so I'm going to go about my day, and I will talk to you in the next video. Thanks for watching.